Welcome to the Knowles 247 YouTube channel, and we've got a fresh video for you guys today. Brendan, tell me what happened on FSU's campus this past weekend and kind of what we're here for.
Kev, it was FSU's third junior day of January. It's been a busy run for FSU's coaching staff. They finished out the 2023 cycle more or less. A few more names still kind of in the cycle there, but they've turned their attention to 2024, 2025, some cases 2026 players. So going to the future now is what FSU is doing. And this weekend was the third and final junior day of the easy for me to see, pre-spring period. Not as many big names as the last few weekends, but still a good list of players and a bunch of offers went out. I think 6 total to 2024 players in general, in addition to a few blue chip players were on campus. So we're going to take a look at 5 different players who intrigue us, different guys across the board, different position groups, varying levels of star rankings, of offer sheets, some hidden gems, some guys at FSU was their first offer, some blue chip guys. One of them I'm going to mention here, FSU has to steal from Georgia if they want to have a shot at him. So an eclectic group here. It's going to be BJ Gibson, a 4-star athlete from Wilcox County, South Georgia. You can notice the theme here. Carr, a wide receiver who's committed to Georgia from nearby Colquitt County in South Georgia, top 100 player nationally. Nasir Johnson, a really under the radar defensive tackle in Dublin, Georgia, South Georgia again. FSU was his second offer. Jeremiah Marcelin from South Florida. He's Miami Norland High School. He's a linebacker prospect. And then finally, another early offer for FSU, Romanas Frederique Jr. He is FSU was his first offer, cornerback. Miami followed not too long after the next day from South Florida. So yeah, interesting smattering of players we're going to get to. AB, I know you're intrigued by all these guys. Who intrigues you the most? Who do you want to start with? Who's the appetizer here?
I think I want to start with Mr. Frederique.
Frederique Romanas.
Interesting story. So you sent me a text and was like, check this dude out. We immediately started watching the film together, and I was quite intrigued.
He is intriguing.
Yeah. It's an interesting story that he had no offers, being as he was at Deerfield and now is going to be playing at St. Thomas Aquinas. So kind of expected a young man like this to have some offers, but they're starting to roll in now. Miami's immediately offered, just riding the coattails of the scouting staff of Florida State. What a shocker.
Yeah, he's going to be someone who gets a lot of offers. He's 6'1", 175 pounds, going to St. Thomas Aquinas. That's the powerhouse in South Florida, one of the powerhouses nationally. Measurables, big program now. Yeah, he's gonna be fun to watch here. I like his film a lot. Look at the athleticism.
I mean, look how well he runs. Very clean.
Yeah, it's very smooth. Yeah.
Long.
Here he is on Hakeem Williams.
And impress. So he's not overreaching.
Yeah, he does a good job. So he's mirroring him early. He's not kind of puts a hand out here, but he doesn't put his weight forward. He's well coached. He gets his eyes turned, kind of hand fights a little bit, makes a play on the ball.
He's not tapping his heels or anything. His feet are really clean. He's playing a little wide receiver here.
I was looking on the defense.
Good ball skills.
Yeah.
Good ball skills. I like that. I watched this huddle this is my 3rd or 4th time now. I haven't found something that's glaringly like sticking out as like a weakness. I think there's a ton of tools there. I like that he's physical. I like the way he plays the ball on both sides of the ball. He's just athletic.
Yeah, you love to see a DB who also played wide receiver. I think it speaks to some ball skills. The staff has really prioritized guys that play both ways in high school, and I think kind of the general football IQ of those kids tend to be really high.
I got to know his story because this dude's going to blow up. Like,
we'll find it out or figure it out. But like, I've asked multiple people, and
man, that's so clean.
Yeah. Like, watch him turn and run naturally.
He hops up a little bit there, and he's a little high.
Yeah,
he's still able to make up for it.
But he's got smooth hips, turns, stays in that. Yeah,
great mirror position,
in control constantly. We have an algorithm that I'm privy to now, and I've helped out with some of the portal stuff for 24/7 Sports for ranking guys. So it's not even like it's not a biased opinion, right? Like, it's just me putting in what I think he is at different levels. and the score came out at a 93 grade, which is a very solid 4-star prospect.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. It's a deep defensive back class, nationally and certainly regionally and in the state of Florida. But I think he has a legit shot at being a 4-star prospect.
He gets a little lost here.
But recovers.
Yeah, I don't know why he's...
His head's inside for some reason. He's expecting the ball inside. The ball's outside.
Yeah, they're playing some true, just like cover 2 dog here. Just man up. For whatever reason, he goes over the kind of pick they run. But, I mean, he's fast enough to recover in the high school ranks. I mean, geez. This get off the line is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Just look how much space he eats. Look at the...
He's on
compared to the guy above him. He's a full, 4 yards ahead.
I think he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds there.
No, that was a catch.
But you see the athleticism. You see the... Yeah, he's just an athlete. I think that's what you gotta respect. He's got decent ball skills. He knows how to play corner. So just right off the bat, I think there's a floor and a ceiling there for this kid that you have to be pretty excited about.
Very much so a fan of his game. Very good offer for FSU, getting 1 of 6 from the junior day. And this was the first offer. This was the first offer for FSU.
He would be a take for FSU?
I do not know that. The DB board is so convoluted in a good way. I think some of this is going to be a camp season deal, AB, where you're trying to get guys on campus to see how they test and put a GPS on them and see what happens from there. So I don't know if he would be a take right now. There's some good players that we've talked about previously on this.
Yeah, lots of good DBs
who are close to being takes for them, but who are not takes yet. They're not in a rush for some of these guys.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, let's check out Jeremiah Marcelin.
Same South Florida boys. I like it. He's from Miami Norland High School, which is the home of Randy Shannon. That's where FSU's linebacker coach, played high school ball. So a bit of a poetic tie here between the two for Jeremiah Marcelin and Randy Shannon. He's listed as a high-end 3-star edge player at 24/7 Sports, 87 grade. But he is going to be a linebacker for FSU if he chooses to play for FSU. 6'2", 220.
Yeah, he's a bigger body immediately.
Well, he kind of said in his post-visit interview that he was they liked him at like a Sam and a Mike role, so it makes some sense.
The Sam stood out because they don't use the Sam a ton. But I wonder if he had a player like him, if that would be I
don't know. He seems... I feel like he might have misspoke. He's a Mike or Will in my mind all day at the college level. I mean, 6'2", 220. That's a big dude.
I think he's a little bit what they wanted Amari Gaynor to be. Able to come up and rush the passer a little bit because he's got some pass rushing ability.
Yeah, like
14 and a half sacks, but also able to play in a stack role.
The burst is
yeah, I mean he comes forward in a hurry.
Yeah, I think that is something to consider. Adam, I'm going to do some videos on this later. Adam Fuller went away from the Sam to a true nickel. And maybe if you get the right guy in, you can kind of have more of those Sam sets in there. They just really haven't had a true Sam linebacker.
They had to make some business decisions, Kev, with how you're going to defend space. And if you don't have a true hybrid space defender, then you have to just go with a true nickel corner because you know what that's going to be. And you just you limit yourself some, but you also limit the worst case scenarios.
I mean, he comes at you.
He is built. We saw him in camp June 15th, Easter egg for people listening to OTB earlier in the week. We saw him in camp this past year, and he is built very thick. He's built like someone who's kind of in between a defensive end and a linebacker. And I thought he'd be a tweener in a bad way when I watched him. I just seen him physically, but now watching him move in games and how quick he reacts and how much he opens up in space. That is, I'm with Kev. That's a true Mike linebacker in FSU's 4-2 system right now.
I mean, I'd like to see him running sideline to sideline a little bit, see what that looks like. There's not a bad clip of him kind of redirecting to get us
or him in coverage,
some lateral agility.
I think coverage is always a big question when you get these bigger bodied linebackers. How is he going to handle backing up? How's he going to handle having to do a turn in space?
It's good athleticism there.
Might be
Change
getting
of
him coming
direction.
forward though quite a bit. This young man's got some pass rush ability.
Whew.
He really does.
Violent hands too. Like I like when he hits someone, like they jolt backwards. He's doing it with an intention and a purpose, but control.
And Randy Shannon paid quite a bit of attention to him, if I'm not correct, this
Yeah,
past
no,
weekend.
you're right. Yes, that's again the Miami New Orleans connection. The FSU linebacker board is kind of always an adventure with Randy Shannon, for better or for worse. And he knows what he likes, and in some cases, and Jeremiah Marcelin is someone that I think he knows he likes, and to us has emerged as a clear candidate for FSU, where we don't have a whole lot of clear candidates at linebacker. We feel pretty confident that this is one.
How about Nasir Johnson?
All right, let's pull
moving up to South Georgia from Dublin, Georgia, which is I'm not going to be mean and say middle of nowhere, but it is in the middle of the state, and there's not a whole lot around it.
Maybe as somebody that lives in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing wrong with that.
Dublin, Georgia does have a St. Patrick's Day parade, though, for you guys to know. So
fitting.
And look, they're wearing green and gold. So this dude, so Nasir Johnson, I think had a Kentucky offer, and that was it. FSU is one of the earlier ones. On his profile, FSU is the only one, but there's some discrepancy there. 6'4", 300 pounds. 2024 prospect. All these guys are, but yeah, I mean, some legitimate. Yes, a defensive tackle prospect for FSU, and Zach was there and saw him in person, and every bit of 6'4", 300.
On him, big dog.
Yeah, that's a big kid.
I wonder if he's a guard. I don't see tackle here necessarily. His first step's kind of up. He looks pretty raw.
We said on OTB yesterday that he does fly up the ball though when he does move. I think this is a offer to camp type of situation, and I said the over under on how many times Odell's going to tell him to get low or lower is what Odell likes to say. Lower. 20 times is the over under at a camp.
Yeah, that seems about right.
The butt side.
Got a nice Dutch angle here.
Dublin angle.
Well, he plays D tackle like he's playing offensive tackle.
Yeah, do they like him on the offensive line or defensive line?
He's a defensive tackle prospect.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I personally think he looks every bit as good on offensive line as he does on defensive line.
So one theory, we saw this with Cam Irving, and I think there's some in FSU's staff who believe this, is you take a defensive tackle, and if they don't work out, you can move them to offensive line a little bit easier than the other way around sometimes.
I just think he plays too high.
He does play very high, but like, is that coach? I mean, it's a small classification in Georgia. This is an upside offer, an upside evaluation totally for him.
Yeah, he's got a frame that you can work around. He's definitely got some explosive steps. He's interesting kid to watch.
Yeah, there's some raw tools there. You get him into camp, see kind of how he progresses.
Tools is a good way to put it for sure.
Let's finish with two wide receivers. Let's check out BJ Gibson, another Georgia boy.
South Georgia as well. Wilcox County and Rochelle, Georgia. I'm gonna look that up real quick. If Ingram Smith were here, he'd be able to tell us.
Shout out Ingram.
That was crisp. All right, so immediately you can tell this guy's been pretty well coached. He's a good route runner. You can see the little subtle jab step here. Kind of get the defender leaning one direction. Get that inside stem, and it puts the safety and man coverage on him. They're clearly trying to double him, and then another nice head nod. Get some space on the safety who's getting some depth because he thinks he's going deep, and he cuts over the middle of the field on a post, and just really pretty route there.
He's a two-sport athlete. Was a Tennessee baseball commit. I mean, they're pretty high level program nationally.
The foot speed there is it looks different. He was a Tennessee baseball decommitted recently. Was out South Carolina last weekend. This weekend was at Florida State. Was supposed to.
I like that he put a block in here early on.
Supposed to be at Kentucky. He's a two-way player in football too. But FSU likes him as a wide receiver, as Kev has astutely observed right away. He's very good at wide receiver and a good athlete.
They're all in on these speed guys this year.
Very much so. Yeah, they've already taken Tawaski Abrams, who's a speedster. as well as
Camden Fryer.
yeah, he's also a very good athlete too. So not a super diverse like body type this year, but just a bunch of fast guys who are good with the ball in their hands. And yeah,
I'd be curious to see what this guy's top end speed is. I have a feeling that he is more of an acceleration guy than a true burner when he gets to a D1 level.
let's see.
He kind of reminds me of Pokey.
Ah,
my boy Poke.
what's interesting is that I think he already has a college ready body in a sense. I don't think you'd want to put any weight on him. I think he comes in and looks like a guy that could contribute pretty quickly.
6 foot 170 is what we have him listed as. So I mean, wouldn't be talking about more than 10 pounds maybe.
But that's a 6'1", 170. That's a dude that can play X for you. Like he's not going to be relegated to your 2 role, which is kind of your movement Z.
Right. He's big. He's not a true slot or a true outside receiver. He's a guy you can kind of move around, kind of play with. And yeah, we saw that with Pokey this year, right? They would put him on the outside sometimes, move him to slot sometimes. And he runs a good route. I think that's what you got to like to see. He runs a good route and he blocks well. So he does the intangibles well.
This is he's impressive. He looks every bit of like I mean, we have him as a 89 at 24/7 Sports. He's a 91 in the composite. So that's between 3-star, 4-star area. To me, it looks like a legitimate like guy who could be played on Sundays, depending on how he develops. Like there's a lot of really nice traits there. It just seems like a football player too.
I would be shocked if this kid ended up anything other than a 4-star.
There's a lot of good receivers this year.
Yeah, good for DBs and good wide receivers. Here, I expect FSU to load up on both. Yeah, he was really a lot of fun. I didn't watch updated BJ Gibson film yet, so that was fun. And I have not watched the next one coming up too. Which
this is the fun one. Carr, Georgia commit
for the finale.
The best for last. Yeah, he is from Colquitt County in Moultrie, Georgia, which is an hour and a half or so north of Tallahassee, if that. He's a 90 grade by 24/7 Sports. Nationally, 96.4. That makes him a top 100 recruit, 67th nationally. So he is, without a doubt, one of the best ranked prospects on FSU's board. He is a Georgia commit, though, has been that since 2022 of the summer. So someone who's going to be hard to pry away from Georgia, super productive at a really good program in South Georgia. And for the record, Dane Draper loves this kid.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Risky take there, Dane. Yeah. Who doesn't love a 6'2", 3" kid that runs with track speed down the field and can catch the football?
Yeah. Georgia likes him. I guess when you say it that way.
Isn't there some rumors that they might be like, I don't know, they just took some other kid that's kind of better than him. They maybe.
Yeah, they might be able to draft. Well, yeah, more or less. They may be able to take top 30, top 20 wide receivers nationally, whereas FSU's taking top 100 guys. So yeah.
How tall is he?
6. I just closed his profile. I think he's 6'1".
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks like a better BJ Gibson in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
6 foot 170. He's the same measurements as BJ Gibson, actually.
He's longer than BJ Gibson.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
He's got longer stride.
Look at those feet.
I like that we're seeing him succeed in a lot of different ways. Crisp route runner, electric after the catch, deep threat. There's a lot.
Good hand catch.
That poor cornerback is moving in slow motion compared to him right here. They really left this man one-on-one on the backside.
God. Yeah, it looks like it's sped up when you watch him specifically.
Yeah, this kid's talented.
Here comes another one-on-one, Kev.
Yeah.
Slot fade.
Yep. Yeah, this is a play Florida State runs a lot. Slot fade. You're basically getting one-on-one with a guy that's a safety. And that's just not really fair.
The NC State play. I'm going to just throw that out every single time we see it, Kev.
It was the NC State play.
It was. And the guy was backed off like the NC State DB was too.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as NC State's DBs.
You don't know that.
Good night.
God. Good job by that quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback's nice.
Moving up in the pocket, getting hit.
Tight spiral too. Yeah, that buddy.
But I mean, this he makes it easy on him. I mean, he's just those strides. He gets up to full speed pretty fast here.
It's crazy too because he slows down at the apex right here. He stops
and he still has 5-yard separation.
I didn't realize. Look at the quarterback at the very end. He gets clipped like.
Oh yeah, he gets wrecked.
Delivers. That's nice.
Obliterated.
Oh, more 1-on-1.
Yeah, they give him a wide split. They did some formation into boundary stuff here. And they're putting the strength over here, trying to get a 1-on-1 matchup on the backside. What do you do about it? He does a little double move.
It's not that.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, he slows down and still has 5-yard separation. Yeah. Another speedster.
I mean, yeah, he's a top 100 recruit nationally. And looks the
this
part.
Isn't just speedster. This is all around just talent. Like this is a dude +1. You got to go try to land this dude.
Oh yeah, he runs solid routes. He's got good ball skills.
Yeah, good job coming back to it. Anthony Miller-esque, maybe, if we're gonna have a Mike Norvell tie.
I can't speak to that.
Whoop.
I gotta know who else is on Colquitt County that he keeps getting these 1-on-1 matchups.
I mean, they showed him out.
Right?
Yeah, that's where Cam Irving's
Let's just
from.
talk about the hot take by Dane that he loves this dude.
So brave.
He had to find a nice ground to take after putting Jaheim Bell as his 5th ranked impact transfer on FSU's class. Yeah, he had to redeem himself.
Jeez.
Oh, Lord.
He's a ball player.
All right. Did he have nice things to say after his junior day visit?
Yeah, it sounds like FSU is making a legitimate push here. So yeah, it sounds like he'll be back, and yeah, good things to come for FSU. Like legitimately. Oh yeah, they have another D1 caliber wide receiver, Jaden Flower. This last year's senior Jack Luttrell is a stud. So yeah, they have. They had Landon Thomas too, who's a 5-star tight end.
Wow. 5-star tight end.
Yeah, they have dudes all over the place there. But yeah, FSU seems like it's in a spot to where it can continue to get him back on campus, and you kind of see what happens. So yeah, a lot of seeds planted this junior day. It wasn't like I felt like last weekend's junior day was more like a either solidifying guys, getting commits there. You obviously got to commit into Walski Abrams. This one was more about, let's see who's interested. Let's see who shows up. Almost like the last weekend this was the last weekend before dead period, almost like at the end of summer when you get to see who's interested in you and like who you really stand for leading up into the regular season. Kind of like that. We get to say, okay, like is BJ Gibson showing up here by surprise? Like, yes, that was big. And there's a few other guys like that. Carr being one of them as well. So yeah, this was a good weekend for FSU to kind of figure out where it stands with some guys, kind of a moving day, if you will.
So all in all, 5 guys on this list that are prospects that Florida State's legitimately interested in. They're legitimately interested in Florida State. And it's kind of all over the place, right? You've got a prospect who earns his first offer. You've got a prospect committed to Georgia. You've got some guys that they're going to look at it as, in summer camps. Just a little bit of everything here, but guys that ultimately we think it's important that FSU fans and subscribers for Noles 24/7 YouTube and Noles 24/7 that you know about as we move into the dead period. And then coming out of the dead period, there's going to be all kinds of crazy recruiting action as spring practices start up.
So with that, I think if you want to keep up with these recruits and hear about fresh batches of new recruits, what you should do is subscribe to the Noles 247 YouTube channel that you're currently on. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the X's and Noles YouTube channel, which you're not currently on. And also go over to Noles 247, where you'll get the freshest of scoops and you'll hear more opinions from all of us and all the other great staff at Noles 247 as they come to us in written form. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys around next time.